professional, and independent. The governor is treating this as he has always done, certainly not with any deliberate issue. And he has threatened to fire everyone tomorrow if they don't go along with his hyperpartisan plans. If he continues to play these games, there will be consequences for his actions. So I'm going to kick it over to Senator Ebben, who will give you some additional remarks on this matter.
Thank you, Senator. I'm Senator Adam Ebben from Alexandria. And unfortunately, the governor, if he were to fire the board members, would be forcing us to consider a variety of actions. We could form a special subcommittee of the P&E committee to screen future nominees. We could refuse to confirm appointees that are prematurely appointed to replace others. We could require each board to certify that their board member or nominee, that their nomination was not conditioned upon any promise or any future action taken by the governor's office prior to be considered by the General Assembly. We could even put legislation in the next session to make it a crime for the governor or his staff to ask a nominee about any matter pending before such board, or condition the nomination on anyone to a board based on a promise to take a future action. And we're serious. The process of governance in Virginia has worked pretty well for the past 400 years, but it's important to have a leader who knows how to govern. I would like to introduce Delegate Skyler Van Volkenberg, who's a secondary teacher and an outstanding delegate from Henrico County.
Thanks, Senator Ebben. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being on. My name is Skyler Van Volkenberg, delegate from Henrico. And, you know, our Commonwealth is the #1 state in the country to do business, and has been multiple times over the last couple of years. And we're also ranked 4th in the country for our education system, which is kind of another way of saying that our system works and has worked. And that's been with Democrats in control, Republicans in control. We've been able to have a professionalized education system that draws families and draws businesses to the Commonwealth, and make sure our kids are educated. And from day one of this governor's term, literally day one with Executive Orders 1 and 2, he has sought to politicize our education system from K-12 to higher ed. And this is to the detriment of students and to the detriment of our economy. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can just look at the information that Lego put out after they went public with people's concerns around environmental law and around impact on the schools. And so, you know, as a teacher and a delegate, I think it's really important that we are focused on students. We are focused on output. And in this moment, I think more than ever, that means recovering from COVID. It means getting the G3 program up and running and really optimizing that program. And so let's focus on those things, the things that help students, and not on these kind of hardline partisan agendas that aren't benefiting the families and students and businesses that live here in the Commonwealth. And so with that, I'm going to toss it over to Senator Hashmi, who herself was an educator in the community college system and helps run the education committee over on the Senate side. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Delegate, and good morning. I'm Senator Ghazala Hashmi, representing Richmond and surrounding localities. And as a delegate shared, I am a former educator and administrator from Reynolds Community College, located in Richmond. And as a result of my experiences, I've seen firsthand really the kind of incredible impact that our community colleges can have on educating our workforce, on opening doors of access to first-generation students, helping adult learners achieve their academic goals, assisting military veterans receive a college education, and so much more. You know, we've got a wonderful system of 23 community colleges that touch every part of the Commonwealth and that provide access and opportunity to rural Virginians as well as our folks who live in densely populated areas. They are really the heart of higher education in Virginia. And our articulation agreements allow Virginia students to transfer to two-year degrees into our colleges and universities. So it's true that community colleges are the workhorses of our workforce, but they're also the essential pathway for so many Virginians who want to achieve aspirational goals of higher education. So in addition to workforce development, we can't forget that our community colleges help transfer students, dual enrollment opportunities are provided, and also bring opportunities for stackable credentials. So to lead us into this next few decades, we need a visionary leader, a chancellor who has the knowledge, the skills, and the experiences within education, someone who embraces the full mission and purpose of community colleges, and an individual who's going to understand the democratization of education, which is at the heart of our American ideals. So Governor Youngkin's direct involvement in the hiring of a new chancellor is unprecedented, it's unnecessary, and it will likely have decades-long consequences for Virginia's community colleges. With that, I'd like to introduce Delegate Sally Hudson, who is also an educator in our higher education systems, teaching at University of Virginia.
Thank you, Senator. My name is Sally Hudson. I serve Charlottesville and Albemarle in the House, and I'm among the educators on this call. I see a lot of those transfer students from our community college system in the courses that I teach. And so I know firsthand that they're not just the engine of our workforce, but also the bridge to lifelong learning for hundreds of thousands of Virginians. And they're called community colleges for a reason. They serve diverse communities in every corner of the Commonwealth, and they each have different needs. They need leadership that understands the job opportunities and the schools of each region so that they can build reliable pipelines to quality jobs and careers. And this governor has shown that, once again, he's quick to run into town and fire existing staff, but he has also shown us that he has struggled to build up strong institutions from there. He has not been able to secure and retain senior leaders at major agencies in state government, from the DMV to DaVita, and now our community colleges. And our students and employers just can't take that risk. We need this reliable and stable leadership because they're counting on getting a quality education that they can bank on for the long haul. So it's time for this governor to understand that there's a lot of expertise and leadership built up in the community college board, and to trust them to steer us and all of our students into this next era of education and employment for Virginia. And with that, I will pass things off to Senator Suravel, who will wrap things up.
Thanks, Delegate Hudson. And my name is Scott Suravel. I'm the state senator representing the 36th Senate District. And I represent the Route 1 corridor. And about 1 in 4 people who I represent was born in another country. And the corridor I represent in Fairfax County has a huge number of people who benefit from our community college system. I represent several campuses of the NOVA system. I think it's important to remember just how broad a swath and how large our community college system is. It currently educates 218,000 students in 23 separate colleges on 40 campuses. Our community college system grants 30,000 degrees a year, and this dwarfs any other institution in Virginia of higher education. It's a massive system. And the governor's threat to basically fire the board members for not doing what he wants on June 30 is completely unconscionable. And it raises serious concerns about what that might mean for other institutions of higher education, which are all similarly governed by Board of Visitors. You know, we've seen an attorney general and a governor who seem to want to get very involved in how these institutions are run. They want to get involved in issues of academic freedom, and getting directly involved in university governance like this is not how we run schools in Virginia. We are not the private sector. This isn't Carlisle. This isn't a corporate takeover. The governor doesn't get to run the schools, the boards do. And our boards are independent. We put those boards in place to ensure that politics does not get in the middle of running our campuses, that they are run independently by other people whose judgment we trust to run these schools effectively. This process the governor has gone through to get us here is very concerning. He threatened the community college system during the process because of certain people that they were considering. That's inappropriate. He also, after the community college hired a new chancellor, the governor demanded a meeting with the new chancellor